The emergence of novel cults in Burma, Myanmar. In this lecture, I will focus on three aspects. First, what I call the moralization of wealth acquisition. Second, a narrative that is recurrent within the new cults of being sent to the human realm to promote Buddhism. And third, I will discuss various techniques by which Burmese Buddhists seek to acquire prosperity and success in business, especially possession rituals. Since the 1990s, Burma has witnessed the emergence of non-institutionalized Buddhist cults that focus on wealth acquisition, business success, finding a good job or promotion, and a search for the winning lottery numbers. In these forms of prosperity Buddhism, urban people from all walks of life seek to acquire wealth through Buddhist practices and ritual technologies, including prediction of lottery numbers and possession rituals performed by non-professional, ordinary people. People turn to these pragmatic forms of religion for their perceived efficacy. They are expected to bring quick results. The main supernatural beings in the novel cults through whom devotees hope to gain prosperity are spirit guardians of the treasure trove, Tai, or Tai Zang. The most popular ones are Nagas, serpent spirits, especially Nagamero, the serpent mother, and Myananwe, also a Naga. Other popular spirits are of Shan origin, it's an ethnic minority in Burma, and Buddhist demons called Yakka Bilu, Yakka or Bilu. These spirits are imagined to guard treasure troves filled with gems and jewels, buried beneath pagodas and intended for the next Buddha, Armideya or Meteya. Yet other popular supernatural beings are the Waisas. These are semi-immortal, accomplished esoteric Buddhist masters, especially Bomingao. The guardians of the treasure trove and Bomingao, as well as other Waisas, are viewed as being engaged in the project of promoting and maintaining the Buddha's dispensation, the sasana. A Waisa is regarded as a human who has achieved a superhuman state and is endowed with supernormal powers acquired through a combination of Buddhist meditation, morality, and esoteric practices. After having attained a mystical transformation, Tuayapao is called in Burmese, they depart for a hidden realm from where they are assumed to be able to communicate through telepathic messages or omens with the devotees or possess them to promote the Buddha's dispensation. Bomingao has been the most popular accomplished esoteric master, a Waisa, since the 1940s in Burma. He passed away in 1952 at the pilgrimage site Mount Popa, but his devotees believe he underwent a mystical transformation at that time and departed for a hidden abode. The novel cults are thus focused upon supernatural beings who are viewed as champions of Buddhism and who require their devotees to support and promote the Buddha's dispensation in return for help to gain economic success. This is a peculiar phenomenon that is characteristic of the Burmese form of prosperity Buddhism that I call moralization of wealth acquisition. When the devotees make a wish for economic success, they may present an offering, a kadopwe, it's called in Burmese. If the wish is granted, they must not merely present an offering again, but also promote and support the Buddha's dispensation. Otherwise, the supernatural beings will not help them. That is called tatanapyu, promoting the Buddha's dispensation. That usually means to use some of their profit to build a pagoda, donate money for the building or renovating a pagoda or a monastery, or to give donations or alms to monks, the dana, it's called in Pali, but also to engage in Buddhist practice, to embody Buddhism. That is, to observe the 5 Buddhist precepts, to practice meditation, tell beads on a rosary, and the like. Thereafter, they should share the karmic merit acquired by such practice with the spirits. Moreover, the spirits and the Buddhist esoteric masters exhort devotees to observe Buddhist morality. Otherwise, as before, they will not receive help to gain economic success. To be successful, the devotees are thus required to be good and moral Buddhists, taking responsibility for their religion, mainly by using some of their profit for Buddhist ends. The Buddha's dispensation, which is called sasana in Pali, or tatana in Burmese, is understood as Buddhism as grounded and institutionalized in society. The material dimension, Buddhist edifices, Buddhist texts, relics, etc., and an embodied dimension, the observance of the monastic discipline by the monks and the practice of meditation, and observance of morality by monks and lay people. This is a form of what some scholars call collectivistic religion. This is a religion into which one is born, a social identity that is ascribed. And individuals have a responsibility for maintaining the religion of their community. For that reason, devotees who are engaged in the prosperity Buddhism cannot focus solely in an egoistical manner on their own private economy and material gratification alone, but must contribute something for the upkeep of their religious community by giving a donation to monks and the like.